I know a lot of you guys probably wondering where the Danny Jacobs Derevchenko video was at. Well, I ain't got around to it yet, and I had this come across, uh, you know, my news and little rumor wire, and I got a link in the description to it. It's right in the description. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas interview with IFL TV. Shout out to them one time for the one time with Eddie Hearn, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share the videos as well. We're trying to push for 10,000 subscribers, man. We need a huge jump. Let's get it done, man. The first time, catching us, we do more than boxing. Do a lot of different things. Check the archives and listen to the video before if you wanted to decide to subscribe. I think I do pretty much good work. And before you subscribe, let's do what I got to say or check out some other videos. And I definitely think you will be wanting to join our subscription gang. And that is what it is. But Eddie Hearn wants to put Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua on DAZN. And I think potentially he was talking more of the UK DAZN side of it than American, because he kept talking about we wanted to look at American TV partner deals and stuff of that nature. But obviously, a lot of people didn't think he would ever fight on put Anthony Joshua on the zone. But if he puts it, I'm not saying that he said he's gonna put this on the zone in America, but it kind of makes sense for it to go on the zone in America, for him, because this would be the eye-catcher fight that he can pull some subscribers in to watch. And we know it's not probably going to be a 7-day free trial for this fight, because they're talking about this fight can go down in October, November, and the zone kicks off in the end of September. And Amir Khan won't be a part of that neither. Amir Khan's fighting the first week in September. So pretty much you're going to get the zone at the end of September. And if you don't know what the zone is supposed to be, their pushing point is supposed to be the Netflix for sports. In Europe, it's in Europe and Canada, or some places in Europe, Europe and Canada. And, in those countries, they have the NFL, soccer, they have different rights, snooker, darts, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be announced in the United States formally the end of this month or the first week of July. Okay. And not only just that, a lot of the American fans or boxing fans, because that's who it's really appealing to right now, want to know, is the zone going to have anything of interest other than boxing? Because the zone offers 16 fight dates on their U.S. and 16 UK fight dates. So they want to know, will NFL Sunday Ticket be on there? NBA League Pass, college football, stuff that it's going to be very, very hard to obtain rights to. It's going to cost you more than $1 billion to obtain rights to all of that stuff. And this is supposed to be a quote-unquote $1 billion deal. It's just a flash on words. Ultimately, they get $3 million per fight when this deal breaks down for the 16 fights. So, that's what it averages out to be. And it's really a 2-year deal for the 2-year option. Then with a 4-year option, $1 billion over 8 years. With options, a lot of options. So if it don't work, they can just go ahead and kill it. And there's been a lot of complaints in Canada about how the streaming hasn't been good. As far as, the time lag, and it's not streaming in HD, it's regular standard. That's a lot of stuff I've been reading, man. We talked about that, but I think it's genius for Eddie Hearn to put this fight on the zone for the zone's sake and for his sake in the United States and the UK. I think it's genius because it'll draw people to see what content they have. Now, drawing and keeping people there is totally two different things. Now, the price is supposed to be anywhere from $12 to $15, $10, $12, $15 in the United States, and I think it's potentially a $2 upcharge in the UK. But we'll know in a few more weeks when they announce it. But it'll be interesting, man. If people pay the $10 just for this fight and then cancel the subscription, but it's definitely they're gonna have to have their P's and Q's together on the app. They're gonna have to get, because this is how they're gonna be able to draw people in. Honestly, this is how they're gonna draw people in. So if the app is absolutely good and it has good content on there, then people may stay. But when you got things like the ESPN Plus app around here for $5, you're already paying bills for HBO and cable in general and Showtime and Stars, whatever. Your bill is over $200. Do you really have room for a $10 or $12 app that just really features boxing and nothing else? Possibly. So they're gonna have to put fights on here, on there to attract people just to pay the $10 per month. They're gonna have to have flashy fights every now and again like this to attract American sports fans. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the casual or you can have all the hardcore boxing fans you want in the United States and the purest boxing fans. You had the greatest, and it won't be enough to carry the zone. The zone is gonna go out of business. You need that casual push. Without the casual push, the zone will fail. So they have to have something else that appeals to the casual sports fan or the casual boxing fan to the zone. And this is something you can start off with right here. Joshua and Wilder's the fight that the fans want to see. And at 5 p.m., in America, it won't be pay-per-view. It won't be Showtime pay-per-view. I hope Showtime won't try to pull it. But obviously, Eddie Hearn said he's still talking to, he still wants to talk to the American broadcasters, HBO, Showtime, Top Rank, ESPN, about broadcasting this fight. And whoever comes up with the bigger bag, that's where to go to. And if it ain't the number he wants, he wants to throw it on his own regardless. He'll be a fool not to want to throw it on his own in America. Because that's the only way he's going to attract subscribers. And as soon as they pay that $10 or $12 or $15 to watch the fight, a lot of people are going to instantly cancel it. And he knows that. Because the content is, a lot of people believe the content on there isn't good enough. It won't be good enough for you to pay $10, $12, $15. It's not good enough to keep up with a $5 ESPN Plus app. But it's yet to be seen. You never know. Maybe they have a partnership with ESPN about showcasing some Monday Night Football or some baseball or some NBA. We got a partnership with NBA TV. You never know what's in the works. But usually when something that big is in the works, it spills out. You hear about it. But, he also goes on to say in this interview, and like I said, I linked it to the description. He goes on to say that the contract should be done, today, possibly today. But, no later than tomorrow, they're going to send a contract to Wilder. And if Wilder tries to screw around with the contract, they'll fight Povetkin in September. Cool. So, basically, in my opinion, I think that contract is going to be a little bit worded differently to deter Deontay Wilder from taking the fight. Now, my issue with this, with him, potentially taking this deal, which they said he did say they sweetened the pot. They did send a better offer 4 weeks ago. And I heard people say, and I can't say that I read it myself, that say Anthony Joshua said, why would he take that deal? I heard people say it was a worse deal than before. But, he did say that they sweetened the pot 4 weeks ago. And I believe him on that note. I believe him. And I believe Deontay Wilder should have compromised a while ago if he got this offer 4 weeks ago and made it happen. But the thing about it is, why is this Povetkin fight not done? What's holding the Povetkin fight up? They've been talking about 4 weeks now too. And I told you guys with the Alexander Povetkin situation that he wants to take it to purse bid. This dude's even flew over to Russia to talk to Rubinsky or whatever the guy's name is from that's the $1 billion backing promoter for Alexander Povetkin. He done rolled over to Russia, okay? Talked to him. They've been hashing out a deal to come to the UK. And ultimately, we already knew that Alexander Povetkin and his team wanted to take this to purse bid to have it in Russia. So that's why I believe a deal hasn't been struck with Povetkin. Because the belief was that we thought in the boxing community that Povetkin, okay, that Anthony Joshua and Povetkin was going to go to purse bid the whole time because Povetkin wanted it in Russia. That's what we always thought it was. And it's proven to be true. There's no way that Deontay Wilder should still be in the running for this fight. If they already decided they wanted to come to Povetkin every day or every week for the last 4 weeks or whatever it may be, are we close to agreement with Povetkin? We close to agreement. What's the hang-up? The hang-up is Povetkin is going to stretch this shit out and take it to purse bid. That's the hang-up, man. Because the Povetkin deal should have been done by now. Povetkin should have willingly went over to the UK and had a fight done. Wilder shouldn't even still be in this conversation. He should be ready to fight Dominic Brazil or whoever he's going to fight next. Honestly. This shouldn't even be a topic right now. But obviously, those negotiations with Povetkin ain't going as good as they thought. They've been negotiating with Povetkin for about a month now. And they knew since he beat Joseph Parker, Povetkin was the mandatory or number 1 contender for the WBA and the WBO. So that's why they put Povetkin on the undercard of Joshua and Parker versus David Price to showcase him. So they already knew all the way along that they wanted to fight Povetkin next. But Deontay Wilder threw a monkey wrench in there. You know, he threw a wrench in their plans by calling their bluff and saying, come on, send the contract, I'll sign it. I'll come over there and whoop him. Because he never said that the fight had to happen in America. Not once did it come out of his mouth. Anthony Joshua said, give me $50 million and we'll see what happens. You know, I'll sign on the dotted line to fight wherever. He opened his mouth and said that. He offered information without being asked. And that's why Eddie Hearn don't let his dumb ass talk now. I know Eddie Hearn cussed his ass out behind the scene. Like, you fucking idiot. You never negotiate through the media. And that's what he did. And he got caught. And he got exposed for running from $50 million and 50% on the back end. He's not about $1 billion. He's about protecting his neck. But all I'm saying is, why is this Povetkin deal not done? Because we believe that soon as Deontay Wilder was going, and the boxing community was going, compromise and say, okay, send the contract, that the Povetkin contract would have been signed, sealed, and delivered. We all thought that. We thought they was going to say, well, we already signed a deal with Povetkin. But Povetkin ain't budging. And you know why Povetkin ain't budging? Povetkin ain't budging because he wants that fight to go to purse bid. And he going to smash Eddie Hearn in purse bid. And Anthony Joshua going to have to go to Russia or give up that belt. And then what? No more Undisputed Triple G Jr.? Or Super Size Me Super G Jr.? You giving up belts? And it's going to be very, very interesting. And Eddie Hearn know that. Deontay Wilder got more leverage than he knows, man. But at the end of the day, like I said about Wilder a long time ago, when this negotiation first started and this fight started to gain traction, this is basically what I exactly said, man. I said Deontay Wilder's going to compromise and take a few steps back to go 7 to 8, 9, 10 steps forward. He had to compromise to get Anthony Joshua in the ring. I knew Anthony Joshua was a punk when he ducked Luis Ortiz and he went back as his man in his word when they made an agreement. If he beat Klitschko, Klitschko beat him, the winner would face Luis Ortiz. And Ortiz gave up his mandatory shot for them to fight for the WBA. And he did all that punk move. I knew then that Anthony Joshua was soft, timid, and a punk. I knew then. So I knew when it came to Wilder, after that performance with Hearn in the rematch, that he was going to act like this. It was no shock to me that this guy was going to act like this. After that Luis Ortiz situation, it was no shock to me. And I said from the beginning, Wilder's going to take significantly less to get this guy in the ring. He had to compromise. If he truly believes he could beat Joshua, he got to compromise, whoop him up, and then become the ace after he whoop him. And now he's finally calling a bluff. And that's all you got to do. And we see what that contract about. Because I believe that contract is going to have some different fine-tuned small print words. He's not going to be able to get up on Wilder. Al Hamer's going to have somebody read that contract, go through that contract, and they're going to see what's good. And I guarantee you it's going to be some BS in that contract. The BS is somewhere for this fight not to happen. Somewhere. But, hey, it is what it is, man. I just continue to talk about it just to make a paper trail so I can go back and refer and say, oh, this is what I said. I told you guys this was going to happen. Because you got a lot of guys out here that know the truth. You know, a lot of UK channels, they know the truth. You know, they know the truth. But they act like they don't want to believe it. And everybody know Anthony Joshua shook. You know, he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, man. Either go to Russia and fight Povetkin and look like because the deal ain't getting cut with Povetkin. They're going to have to overcompensate Povetkin. Or go and fight Deontay Wilder in the UK. It really don't matter, though. I watch both, I'm not going to lie. I like the Povetkin Joshua fight. Not mad. Not mad at all. But, like I said, he's going to try to put it on the zone in the UK. I wouldn't be surprised. And Eddie Hearn is going to make a lot of enemies, man. A lot of enemies. And he's already made a lot of enemies in the United States. We're trying to come in and march in like he owned the place. And he ain't even going to get in where he fit in at. You know, he already alienated HBO by playing with Anthony Joshua and not bringing him to him. That's why they signed Danny Jacobs, because they thought they was getting Anthony Joshua at HBO. He ain't delivered Joshua to HBO yet. And now, potentially, you know, he's going to take Sky Sports top probably pay-per-view puller and viewership puller in Anthony Joshua and put him on his own in the UK. And then if he puts this on his own in the United States and they can get a TV deal in the United States on his own, which will be the smartest option for him, he's going to piss off Showtime. And Showtime is no longer want to work with Anthony Joshua, especially if he gets starched by Deontay Wilder. But for him, to end it off, it's smart for him to put that shit on his own in the United States, man. That's mad smart because mad people are going to pay that $10, $12, $15 just for this fight. And if he got good content and people, I like that. I like the ESPN Plus app. People shitted on it. I shitted on that first. But when I actually got it and I watched it, I liked it and I fucked around and kept it for $5. So he better hope his DAZN app has the same appeal. He better hope that app has the same appeal. Because if it don't, you know, it's going to fail. But, you know, I'm not saying he's going to take this away from Showtime. Like I said, I'll link the article, link in the description. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. Like I told you guys, we talk more than boxing. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share it. Appreciate it. A share is just as important as a donation. But if you want to donate, you know, help us, you know, the creative content due to the YouTube / funding, you know, website. I got a logo coming. You know, people that donate, super chat or donation to PayPal, I'm gonna send them some shirts. When I get them made, I got some radio show lined up. So definitely appreciate it. Sometime we can travel and cover the fights. I definitely appreciate it, you guys, if you do. But sharing is just as important. And I'm really, really trying to get my subscribers up and make that push. So, you know, that share is very, very vital and important. And the Sergey Derevyanchenko and Danny Jacobs video, I'm going to get ready to cook that up and drop that a little bit later. It's TBC.